Is it sun bright or out on my core? This is the moment you're meant to know.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I am here to do a reading. Um, I'm trying to figure out if I should do a reading on Ginny and Lisa or do a reading on Lisa and Rose, because BlackPink, actually, I'm glad to announce that since the beginning of the Deadline tour, fans have actually changed their tune a little bit, it seems like, and are actually enjoying the tour. At least from the snippets that I'm seeing online, BlackPink looks like they're having fun. Their encore stages are amazing where they're singing each other's songs and stuff like that. It's just really great to see Blackpink enjoying themselves, and honestly, everybody's stage outfit when they do their solo low is just really good. So because of that, I just wanted to briefly just talk about Blackpink, what's going on with their Deadline tour. However, I do think there is somewhat a little bit of drama, and I think I hear it's between Jenny and Lisa yet again. But then, you know what? This is how I'm going to solve it. For the two people that requested the reading individually, I'm gonna do a reading on all three of them together, because we're at this point, we're pretty sure that this is like a love triangle that's going on. And actually, speaking of which, I have seen some clips that Jisoo is always the one that like feels left out. So I'm not sure if I'm onto something with this lore here now that I'm thinking about it. Jisoo always is standing off to the side, separated from the three girls. I'm not sure if it's just because she's the leader or she's the oldest, but she's not that much older than them. So I don't see why she would feel awkward around them unless she's just not like them other girls. So maybe that's the vibe that she's getting from, I'm just digressing here. This is just everything that's going on in my fandom mind. However, I'm going to do a reading on Ginny, Lisa, and Rose's vibes that they have with each other, see what's going on with that friendship, and see what's going on behind the scenes, because I could have sworn that Ginny, I saw a tag saying that Ginny did something and Lisa was crying. So I mean, I wasn't sure how true that was. That just sounded like it was fan made, but at the same time, it the three girls, that's all I got, is they got something going on, and we're going to figure that out today with these cards. So we're first going to start with, who do I want to put in the middle? I'll put Rose in the middle. Rose deserves to be in the middle, because I feel like Rose is somehow in the middle. So with that's all the shuffling. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. 3 cards came out. Marvelous. This first card is going to represent, since I'm a Ginny bias, I'm going to put Lisa first. Represents strength. We have Rose in the middle. And then we have Ginny at the end. Honestly, say less. I couldn't have seen anything. All these cards represent each of these 4 girls just individually. But let's just figure out what's going on underneath them, like what their foundation is. Okay, we're going to leave this Emperor upside down. Let's see what is behind them. The 4 of Cups. What's above them? The Lovers. I'm just saying. And then, oh, wow. Okay. This is very interesting, actually. And then we have the 4 of Swords. Now, what is quite interesting here is that we have 4 fours. We have the 4 of Cups, the Four of Swords, and then the Emperor, who is the number 4, and that is the Emperor, and it is upside down. And Jenny just happens to be the Four of Wands. So because of that, and if we want to take it that way, just thinking about it, strength, that's the number 8 card, that's 2 fours, and that represents Lisa. So if you want to think about it that way, it's just abundant in fours here. But what does stand strong in crowds, no matter how gloomy I don't want to say gloomy it looks for some of them, but no matter how heavy this triangular entanglement is, that's what we're going to call it. No matter what this entanglement is, there is some love between these 3 girls. Now, whether that's platonic, romantic, open-ended, fill in the blanks, however you want to see lovers for this reading. But let's first figure out, we have Lisa. She represents the strength card, or the strength card represents her. And okay, guys, I'm so joking. So, no, Lisa is a very strong card, she is a very dominant energy when it comes to this entanglement. Maybe she's the ringleader, the headmaster, playing between Jenny and Lisa. Between Jenny and Rose, or maybe she's just that free spirited that says, you're not going to tame me. And she is, I don't want to say overpowering, but she's a bit masculine in that sense. And we have seen it from the way she handles these ladies. So for that, I see Rose here as the 10 of Wands, as feeling as though this is what's ever going on in this entanglement. I don't want to say it's burdensome, but that it could weigh heavy on her. Maybe she just wants to be friends. Maybe it confuses her, or she's a bit confused herself and it's experimental, if you want to think about it that way, or it's something that she hasn't quite confronted within herself. I'm trying to figure out how this 10 of Wands within an entanglement, because it seems like out of all the cards here, Rose is the one that's taking it hard. And Rose is, I don't want to say sensitive, but Rose does seem to feel, and I would have thought Jenny feels more than Rose, but who knows how their dynamics could have been with each other for Rose to feel the most impacted by this entanglement. Maybe she feels left out. Maybe, like I was saying, maybe she feels played. Maybe it's like, you only come to me when you're not vibing with her. Am I your second option? Stuff like that. Like, what are you guys doing? It's like this and then that, kind of thing. So here, though, we see Jenny as the 4 of Wands, somebody who in this entanglement feels as though she is coming out on the end, as on the brighter side of things. Like this relation, whatever went on, and I know it's really with Lisa, whatever had went on. So I'm like, I feel like Rose was just kind of not a catalyst, but a third wheel or a byproduct of what happened. Because Jenny here seems as though this, even though there was a sense of love, there was a sense of foundation, a comfort, a home, even with these girls, with Rose and Lisa, but also at the same time, it's like a transitional phase where they're moving on to new chapters in their lives. And it's like, if we go on, we go on. And if we don't, we don't. And if some things have to change, some things are just going to change. And it just seems like Jenny and Lisa both have and they're also fire cards as well, speaking of strength and the Wands card. So therefore they're able to not be so set down and weighed down, even though actually Rose is the is a wand card as well. So therefore they're all fiery, they're all passionate, they all had some sort of love for each other, and they were like all in this together. That's exactly what we see above their head with this lovers card. That's why I'm like, I'm not sure if it's platonic, if it's romantic, but there's definitely is some sort of love and entanglement, which is the perfect word. Thank you, Jada Pickett Smith. It was they was in some sort of entanglement, yet there is still some love for them. And why I also say that too is looking beneath here, we have the Emperor reverse. Now, I usually don't leave my cards in reverse, but the Emperor card is strong masculine energy. And if I think about that in reverse, what's the opposite of strong masculine energy? Strong feminine energy, or there is lack of strong masculine energy. So therefore they are less, the love that was once there is more diffused now. It's not so strong, it's not so we're going to go get it. And also the Emperor, actually, this is really perfect. The Emperor card is also a fire card, and all the cards that have to deal with the ladies are fire cards, except for the outside influences, which is the past and present, and then what's above their head. So what I see here is that the fire or the passion that once drove them to be in this entanglement has fused out, has died out. They don't feel like they have such of a strong hold on each other, or as though they're feeling or as though they feel, or as if they don't feel as though, I'm going to get this out, they feel as though that they don't have the struggle, sorry, they they feel as though that they are overcoming the sense of not having control over the situation and how everything is going in the way that the energy is flowing between all of them. And they could have conquered that, and now they have regained the energy within themselves and have reclaimed themselves and found themselves through this, which is a great experience. But also sometimes in love and war, there is hurt, pain. Did I quote that right? I probably messed that up. And that's exactly what I see here with Rose. She just happened to be a casualty in this entanglement, because it really does feel like it was heavy, strong between Lisa and Jenny. And blinks, we all can agree, Lisa and Jenny was definitely giving those vibes. And it seemed like Rose somehow got entangled literally into that. But we see here in the past, it's the Four of Cups, which usually symbolizes not being able to accept just anything. So this is the point where this is when they could have all gone their separate ways and have done their solo acts, and they were able to really finally get a breather from each other and from the dynamic of BlackPink and this feminine energy, and get to meet other people. Even though they were doing it with BlackPink, they had to always go home to BlackPink. So it always felt like a relationship in that sense, whether you family, friends, lovers, they always just felt like at the end of the day, we're always going to be coming home to each other. So it's just us, ride or die till the end. But once BlackPink had did their separation to go do their solo acts before this deadline tour, and we see the payoff in their tour. The ladies look beautiful, they look gorgeous, they look rejuvenated, like they have oomph back in their step. And they was looking, I'm not gonna lie, it was looking a bit peaked in the beginning, but they look like they're finally getting it together, and that they're really enjoying the tour, enjoying each other's music, bonding with each other. I mean, these girls have grown up with each other, so to be able to sing each other's music on stage together, dance with each other on stage to each other's music, and get to laugh, kiki, and haha. It's like BlackPink dynamics all over again, but it's something new and revisited and revamped. And that's exactly why I feel like there has been a reset or a revamp in this entanglement energy. And that's exactly why this Emperor energy is right here. Maybe people have stopped trying to control who dates who talks to who does this. Stop trying to give off stern and coldness, and really try to really talk through your feelings and try to get to the resolve of a situation, because you truly do, at the end of the day, these, like I said, at the end of the day, these ladies do love each other, whatever, what they just had to figure it out for themselves. Growing up, puberty, the K-pop industry is a bit questionable anyway with their fan service. So here we see in the future, so that's what I see here in the past. Once they had to break up, not break up literally, well, literally and metaphorically, when BlackPink had to break up, the ladies finally got to get a break from each other and figure out what standards and boundaries that they're going to set, which is exactly what I see here in the Four of Swords, where when it comes to this entanglement and what's going on with them, they are at a rest, a standstill. Nobody's trying to pursue anybody. Everybody's kumbaya in Zen mode. They don't feel as though there's any. Well, I'm not going to lie. There is a bit of an underlying dynamic, because I do see the way all three girls still interact with each other on stage. And it does make me question just a little bit, but maybe that's just what they do and that's what they like, but they know that it's nothing more than that, or it's not going to be anything more than just what they give us on stage. It's truly just fan service. And if that's the case, like I said, set boundaries. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're not going to do. This is where we're not going to cross the line and stuff like that. That's where things had to be set in order for them to feel as though they have a sense of control over their feelings, over the energy that they invest in each other. So that way I don't have to be on stage looking at you guys and feeling jealous or envious or wondering, hey, why are you guys not including me? And things like that. And, and it's like, how fans are going to think when they look at you guys on stage and then be looking at me. And then it's a whole mind manipulation game. And honestly, who wants to continue going through that? And that's exactly how the ladies feel. It's just there's some things that just need to come to an end. No matter how fun and good it was, some things just have to come to an end. So we're going to see we're going to pull 3 cards for an outcome on Jenny, Lisa, and Rosé's entanglement. And also, what does that have to mean for BlackPink? Okay. We have a fox, swiper no swiping. We have a house talking about that home. And we have warm. Wow, this card is just on fire lately. I'm not even kidding. So I'm just going to jump right here to warm, because that sums up everything before I get down to the other 2 cards. Warm, like I said, all the cards that had to deal with the ladies, and the reversed emperor that's like cranking the heat down. At first it was at 10 and now it's down to a 4 if you want to think about it. So it's not hot, it's warm, lukewarm if you want to think about it. There's still some feelings that are still bubbling underneath the surface, but it's not enough to make me jealous, crazy, and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, kind of things like that. So that, so we see here that they're actually, weirdly enough, I wasn't expecting to see a cunning and deceiving, clever fox. That's exactly what we see here. I said it at the very beginning, swiper no swiping. So maybe, and that has to go with dealing with possessiveness. You're not going to take what's mine. If you let go of those feelings, if you don't try to control them and allow them to take you over, and you're able to set boundaries and realize, hey, we can feel up on each other if we want to, and know that it doesn't mean anything, but it looks a certain way. And maybe somebody's a little bit more invested than the other. Maybe it's to do a little bit of pleasing for the person that is more invested than the other person, just to please. We're friends, we cool like that. I could do that. And hey, if that makes you happy, that's just cool kind of thing. That could be kind of deceiving. That's kind of clever. And it's cunning. And we here have the house, like I said, with this entanglement and BlackPink, just period. It's home. It's what's familiar to them. it's what makes them comfortable. They're like bonded for life, honestly, if you ask me. So because of that, when it comes to Rose, Ginny, and Lisa, it feels as though they have again, no matter what kind of love they have for each other, they still feel home with each other, and that they can be themselves and comfortable enough to be themselves around each other and know that it is safe, and just know that it's safe to be themselves, and that nobody's going to try to be a fox in a manipulative way, but a fox in an intellectual way, in a mature way of how to handle a certain situation that was once tricky, it was once touchy, it was once emotional. So because of that, you got to navigate all those feelings and all those thoughts, and that's really hard, especially when you're up there vibing and you start getting back into those old vibes and into those memories and the nostalgia. Come on. It speaks for itself. You can get back into those delusions and start thinking it's more than it was, or be like, oh yes, I remember these were the days. Why can't we go back to these days? You know how it happens. You know how it goes. So for that, that's what I see with the three ladies. It's an evolving story, but we definitely got one thing for certain, and I got it last time when I did a reading on Ginny and Lisa, is that whatever was BlackPink, whatever was going on with these three ladies before their solo careers, they have came back better and understanding who they are and what they want out of each other and where they're going to stand with each other. And that's all and that's growth, that's evolution, that's learning yourself. So for that, and if you guys truly love each other, like love each other, and you're like family, nothing's going to separate us, then why could you not respect somebody's boundaries? Why can you not say, I love you enough that I still want you in my life, that I'm willing to abide and please? And you do the same for me, where our compromise is an equal give take situation here. Nobody's using, nobody's giving more, is reciprocity here. And if we can have that, then we can have a solid friendship going forward. And that's exactly what I see here with the house card. They have that solid type of foundation, and the feelings are still there. And it's just an emotional time. It's nostalgic. It's nostalgia all at the same time. Some members have been waiting to get back to the old Blackpink, and to get back to the girls and get back to the blinks. So it's high emotional, living the old life, but the new life all over again. So it's a bittersweet for all of the ladies. And that's exactly what I see here with Rose. She's the one that's feeling the bittersweet in the situation. I'm not sure if that's because she just was a bit more involved, or like I said, she just happened to be she just happened to be a byproduct of this, and it just happened, she just got hurt in the situation. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I sure did. I hope the two people that requested this reading didn't mind me drawing the two readings together. However, looking at the way the tour has been going and how the ladies have been interacting with each other, it only felt right to put it together, to finally put the pieces together. And I think the pieces finally clicked together. I had to muddle through at the very beginning, because I was just like, I see love, but it's not love. I'm like, I see hurt, but there isn't hurt. I see that they're struggling, but it's not a struggle. That's that bittersweet, that tug of war, that push and pull dynamic that's in this. And that's that bittersweet. It's that I love you. We got to figure out where we're going forward, and how are we going to respect each other and respect each other's boundaries. And that's exactly what a house is. A house is a boundary. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I sure did. I felt like we finally got down to the bottom of what was going on inside of Blackpink. You know what? I changed that. BlackPink finally got down to what was wrong with BlackPink. And they just needed a break from each other. And sometimes you just need that reset. Sometimes you just need a woosah and get your mind back together. Like Nene Leakes said, call me, you must have lost your mind. Call me when you find it or something. I butchered it, but exactly like that. Go get your mind, go figure out what if you've lost sense of yourself, go find yourself essentially. And once you find yourself, you're going to find yourself on the right path. Now that is definitely a quote I just recently saw. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Again, I sure did. It was very good. It was very juicy. I could keep talking about it more, and even on BlackPink. Maybe I'll do an updated reading on BlackPink and their tour now that it seems like fans are starting to enjoy it more and there's much less hate. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Please subscribe. Please give a thumbs up if you haven't already. It would really mean a lot to the channel. We really appreciate it. Please and thank you. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and share this with anybody that's a Blink, that's into K-pop, that's into Rose, Lisa, and Jenny. Anybody that's, sorry, Jisoo. Anybody that's into Jisoo. I mean, I didn't talk about Jisoo, but like I said, it just always feels like she gets left out. And I saw a video about it, so I just wanted to point that out. Actually, you know what? Just for that, I think I'm going to do a rating on Jisoo just to figure out how is Jisoo feeling being honestly, the third wheel when there's 4 members. So we'll make that one make sense. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you Blinks in the next one. Please tell me if you would like that reading on Jisoo. Sunflowers!